Growing roses from seeds can actually be a really rewarding experience. Growing roses from seed can be one of the best, interesting and rewarding experiences you could have as a gardener. All it takes is a little bit of time and patience and a little bit of ingenuity, and then you can have your own rose. You could name a rose after yourself. Just allowing nature to do what it does best, pollinating, or at least the insects pollinating from flower to flower, and then you end up with a hip. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually grow your own roses from seed. Roses grown from seed are notoriously difficult, or at least I used to believe that until I researched it myself and gave it a shot. It just takes time and patience and giving the right environment for these rose hips to flourish. So this video is a step-by-step process of how I have managed to grow roses from seed. And it's a learning curve because it depends on many variable factors. Where you live in the world, your climate, the medium, the soil medium you use to propagate your seeds. So there's many things that go into propagating your roses from seed. And I would encourage anyone that's ever thought about trying to grow from seed to really give it a crack, give it a go. And hopefully this video will give you some tips on how you can also grow your roses from seed wherever you are in the world, provided you have the right conditions. All it takes is a little time and patience, and in these rose hips right here could be one of the most beautiful roses that you have created simply by allowing nature to do what it does best. Step 1. If you have collected hips over the spring and summer, what you want to do next is put these rose hips in your refrigerator for more than 60 days. This is called stratification. Stratification is needed and is necessary for some seeds that we have on our planet that need a dormancy period. So if you're collecting seeds in the summertime, you can't just go and plant these seeds straight into the ground thinking that roses are going to germinate. These seeds actually need to go through a dormancy period, or at least a winter season, and you can mimic that by putting them in your fridge and leaving them for, I would say 90 days, but definitely no less than 60. Step 2. Once your rose hips have been in your fridge for more than 60 days, get a pot of water, doesn't have to be clean, and put your hips in the water and let them soak for 24 to 48 hours. That way, this process will help soften the hips and will allow for you to easily get your seeds out of the hips themselves, because they can be quite tough after being in the fridge for more than 60 days. Step 4. Once you've removed the hips from the seeds, put them through a strainer and give them a good rinse, getting off any remaining hip from the seed. They don't have to be extremely clean, but the better, the cleaner they are, the better it is. Step 5. Get a good composting soil, a nice dark one. This has a bit of sawdust in it. Oops, and it also has a melon in it. I'll plant that out in a minute. The treasures you find. So get some good composting mix and then fill it to half, and then add the rest sawdust. So you've got a nice balance between sawdust and compost. The aim here is to make a good soil medium that's porous yet also holds moisture. So give it a good mix, and then once everything's blended, you can then get your seeds and place them on top. Step 6, get your seeds, put them on the soil medium, and then water them in. You don't have to be too careful about it, but just making sure that they're evenly spread out. That's all you need to do. Step 8. Cover the seeds with a light dusting of sawdust. And then a light dusting of compost. Give a final sprinkle. And then cover with some type of airless barrier, like a lid, and then leave it. Here we are, a month later, and we have the first rose. You can always tell when a rose, or at least I can tell when a rose seed germinates if you've got a mix of seeds. It's because a rose seed will always have those little hairs on the edges of the cotyledon. So the cotyledon is the first set of leaves. Let me zoom in a little bit. See those little hair follicles around the side? I mean, there may be a proper name for them, but I've always just called them hairs. So that's always indicative that it's, for me at least, I've always been able to tell if I have a mix of seeds and, you know, I kind of want to know what it is if I don't have a tag on it. That is always an indicator that this is a rose. And then of course you can see the telltale signs of the secondary leaves, the real leaves, that this is a rose. And so this has been in this greenhouse. Temperature, well, 17 degrees in here. This is, well, I guess it's about 9 o'clock. 75 humidity. And so here it is. Grown from seed, a rose grown from seed. I have no idea what this is. What this is going to be. Whether it's a climber, hybrid. Obviously it's a hybrid because it's grown from seed, but have no idea. That's the beautiful mystery of growing roses from seed. You have no idea what type of rose it's going to be. It could be the smelliest rose on the planet, or it could just be a very plain single petal rose, or it could be a beautiful big blushing rose with triple petals inside. You never know. And that's the beauty of growing them from seed. It's very exciting.